Hey, welcome in. In this video, we're going to be discussing while loops, probably the second most common loop in R, second to for loops. So I'll start my script editor here, type the word while. You can notice it turns orange because it's an important word in R. And with a while loop, we're going to loop while something is true. So it's a good name. So I'm going to start with the simplest example. I put true in the while loop. Remember that a Boolean value is a value that takes on true or false. And in R, true really just means true. So if I go to my console and I type if true, print hi, this is going to evaluate if the statement true is true, which it is. And if it is, it'll print hi. So we print hi there. If false is the statement inside false, it is false. So it's not, if I run this, it's not going to print hi. So anyways, while true, this will, run while the kind of condition within the parentheses of the while loop is true. I have my curly brackets where I actually want to run some code. And let's say I have some number m, and within the body of the while loop, I'm going to assign m to m plus 1. So we start with m equals 0. We can run that and store that here in our environment. The variable m takes on the value 0. And while true is true, we're going to iterate and do m is m plus 1. So let's go ahead and run this. So you can see it's running in the console. And it's running and it's not finishing. And I'm actually going to hit escape and end this because, as you can probably guess, if I just let this run, it would run forever because it's saying while true is true and true is always true, this will continue to run. So if we actually peek at the value m, and you can see it here in your environment, m is this really, really big number. I mean, this is, almost 300 million. So while we were sitting there for a couple of seconds, the loop ran through about 300 million times. And finally we told it to stop. We escaped because it would keep going forever and ever and ever. And m would probably become such a big value that it would have to stop because it couldn't store it in memory. So one cool thing that we can do is we can add an if condition that will break this loop, similar to what we did in the for loop. So let's say if m is greater than 100, we are going to break. And remember, if orange, because it's special, also break special. So each time we go through this loop, it's adding another computation. So it'll slow things down a little bit, but it'll check if m is greater than 100. And if so, it will get out of the loop. So if I run this code, highlight and hit control, return on my keyboard, you can see that the code ran, it finished. And if I type m, what am I going to get? So take a second to think, what if I print out m, what am I going to see? Yet m is 101. And again, you can see in the environment here. So a little bit of cheating possible. You can check out what it says in the environment, because every time we went through, we checked if m was greater than 100, it wasn't. And then when m was 101, it satisfied this condition. This condition was true. So it was true. And therefore we broke the loop. So that's a common way to do while loops. Another common way is to put the condition just directly within the actual parentheses of the while loop. So in this case, instead of doing true, I can say while m is less than or equal to 100, m is m plus 1. In this case, there's a condition as well, but the condition is a little bit more complicated than just true. We're saying as long as m is less than or equal to 100, continue looping through. So while m is less than or equal to 100, continue looping through. I'm gonna clear my environment, and I am gonna hide this. And now I'm gonna run this code. You can see it ran on the right side. And if I print out my m value, what's it going to be? So if we guess correctly, it's going to be 101 again. Each time we checked if the loop would run, if we're going to see if m is less than or equal to 100 or not. It went through the, when m was equal to 100, it went through, did m is m plus 1, so m equals 101. The next time through, we checked if m was less than or equal to 100, it wasn't, so the loop broke. So these are two ways to get out of a while loop, both important because otherwise you could be stuck in a while loop forever. That's all for this video. That's all for this video. We'll see you next time.